Hello and welcome. This is the third scenario for the Borodino 2025 Battle of Moscow, a game of Third World War series. And like I said before, this is a campaign game, so you should play one scenario after another because setup, losses, etc. are linking the game. So this is scenario titled Highway A107. And this time we are gonna to see the first stage of the NATO attack on Moscow. So the Russian setup is the same as it was at the beginning, at the end of the last scenario, with few details. These details are the three Russian airborne regiments that are set up at the game start. You can see one of them is here, one is there, and one is here. This is this is the bigger scenario, so I think I will have to move my camera a bit to show you everything. And so the last is here. We also have the remains of the Russian rebels. At last, well, not much of them, because all we have is one headquarter and the remaining motorized brigade. So not much remains of them, and Russians are set up in Moscow just like they were at the end of the last scenario. NATO is not present on the board at the beginning of the game. They are about to enter the game in the turn one, and we have two divisions, American 3rd Division and Polish 16th Division and French 2nd Brigade. Along with these forces, we have a couple of airborne battalions that NATO can use in the turns when they have air advantage. Next, NATO also have 4 tactical nuke strikes, while Russians have all the tactical nuke strikes they had at the end of the last scenario, plus 1. But Russians can only use their nukes if NATO will use it first. So, if NATO strikes with a nuke, then Russians might strike back. If NATO strikes with another nuke, then Russians might strike back, etc., etc. And if Russians are out of nukes because they have only 2 nukes now, then NATO is free to strike their nukes more. But like I said, we are going to use these nukes in the following scenarios. So this is a question if any side wants to use their nukes now, or they would rather keep them for later turns. We will see. Okay, this scenario is slightly longer than the previous one. It takes 7 turns to go, and this time we are going to use full rules. So special forces, electronic warfare, combat helicopters, air force, etc. So, as for victory conditions, NATO gains 1 victory point for each city hex they control at the end of the scenario, and 2 victory points for each airfield they control at the end of the scenario. And Russians get 8 victory points if they control all the Moscow at the end of the turn. So I think... Oh, there is one more thing I need to cover. And now, when it comes to the rebels, they might gain supplies or not. At the beginning of each day, you have to make a roll. If you got 5 or 6, this means that you can get 1 step of the rebels. This means that you can resupply one of your units and give it 1 hex back, or you can reintroduce one of the lost rebels unit with 1 point, 1 step. But if you will roll 1, this means that 1 rebel unit must lose 1 step. And same goes to Russians and their, I mean not Russians but commies. Only commies might regain or lose steps in the same way. So we are going to start the game now, and first of all I'm going to make these rolls. White for rebels, red for commies. Oh, so rebels gain nothing and commies have to lose one step. So I will lose it here. Okay, next we are going to make rolls for the air superiority. In the turn 1, NATO has 5 and the Russians have 3. So let's make a roll. White for NATO. So 6 plus 3 is 9, 5 plus 1 is 6, so Russians have air advantage. So we have to check of their strength, of their losses. So Russians, oh my 6, no losses, amazing. NATO 4, also no losses. That's great for them, but still Russians have air advantage. So I cannot use my French airborne units now because Russians have air advantage, but I can still go on to the Allies movement phase. But before I will make movement, I'm going to make one more thing. I would like to use NATO nuclear attack on, I think, this hex. There is kaboom with a nuke here, and now these units that are on this hex are instantly eliminated, and now we need to make a roll for the others to see how well they survived this nuclear strike. And this means that all the units on the adjacent hexes have to make a roll to see. So we have 2 units on this hex. So for the first one, 4. This is one step lost. For the second one, 3. No effect. Now for them, first one is eliminated, and the second one, 2, I think it's fine. Yes, it's fine. Okay, so it wasn't very deadly. Thought it will be more effective. Okay, let's go back to the movement phase, and we are going to write with NATO. So Americans can enter from the zone A, French forces can enter from the zone B, and Polish forces may enter from the zones marked as C. And now here we have a highway, and highway, so it is 1, 2, 3, 1. So American tanks are moving here, and now these tanks, 1, 2, and this is secondary road, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we got some strikers and American arties here and there, along with headquarters of the division. Okay, so that's the first brigade. Now the second brigade. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is, and when it comes to the wheeled units, okay, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They will hold this area, and artillery right here. It will be covered by these Bradleys, and these tanks will go here. So that's all for this brigade. And now this motorized infantry brigade. They are transported by trucks, so they are treated as a wheeled units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's all for Americans. Now French forces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and Polish. Okay, Polish are here, so we need to move our camera a bit. And now I think Polish need to destroy this group first, because otherwise they won't be able to do much stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they are going to surround the city. It will be 1, 2, 3. No, the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that was wrong again. Sorry. You need to spend 3 movement points when you are moving with mechanized unit through the forest. So now I cannot move like that, so it will be 1, 2, and now 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these are rebels. They are friendly towards us, so we can still use them, and they are going to move here. And now Polish artillery here, here, and there. Polish headquarters goes here, and Polish reconnaissance unit will cover them. So that's all when it comes to the movement phase. That was there was a lot of moving, and now we have to resolve our attacks. So who is going to attack and where? I think I will start here. So I need to move my camera a bit, and now I'm going to make an attack with my units with the strength of 9, and let me check one more thing. And I will use 1 point on my electronic warfare here, and 2 points of my combat helicopters. From the Russian point, they are going to use 2 points of their Air Force. And first of all, I need to make a roll for the combat helicopters, because they are They can be used despite the fact that enemy has air superiority, but you still have to make a roll to see if they aren't suffering losses in this combat. So 6, no losses. That's great. And next, we have to check if we can use any artillery support. Yes, so Americans are going to use their artillery support. And now we have 8, 10, and 13, 19. So we have 19 versus 2 and 4. So this is... oh, wait a moment. I think it's not 4, but 3. Because we are using aircraft to support combat. No, that's fine. So we have 19 versus 4. It will be 5 to 1. 6 to 1 because of the electronic warfare, 7 to 1 because of the star, 8 to 1 because of the second star, and 9 to 1 because of the hit quarter. So it's 9 to 1, and now it is 8 to 1 because there is a village here. So it's 8 to 1, and now let's make a roll. Now where did I put my die? Okay, it's here. 5. 5 in the 9 to 1 is 2, 3, 4, 5. B4. So Russians have to retreat 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they have to undergo 3 morale checks. 1. Oh, they are already broken. And now Americans. This unit follows them, and these tanks take this hex. So that's all when it comes to this combat. And now, wait a moment. No, yes, that's right. I needed to check if Americans doesn't have to undergo morale checks, but no, they don't have to. So now here, this group with the strength of 9 plus this artillery with a strength of 9, so it's 18, attacks them. This is 19 versus 2, so it will be 19 versus 2 will be sorry, 19 against 2. Okay, it will be 10 to 1. Oh, 9 to 1, sorry, 9 to 1 and 2. Sorry, so it's 10 to 1 because of the stars and 8 to 1 because of the woods. So it's 8 to 1 and 5 in the 8 to 1 B4, so they are eliminated because they cannot retreat anywhere around. So Americans destroy them. So we are going south, and now who is going to attack where? I think I will start here. And these 3 Polish units are attacking this Russian airborne battalion. So we have 5, 10, and 14. Plus 5, it will be 19 versus 2. So it will be 9 to 1 and 10 to 1 because of the stars. And now 9 to 1, 8 to 1, and 7 to 1. So this is 7 to 1 for Poles. 9 in the 7 to 1, it is B2. So they have to retreat, but they cannot. So they suffer 2 losses and they are eliminated instead. Okay, next them. They are attacked by these 3 units, 6, 14, 20 versus 2. It will be 10 to 1. It will be 10 to 1. 10 to 1, and now 8 to 1 because of the town. So 8 to 1 and 9. It will be B3 and they cannot retreat, so they are dead. And now these 3 units are attacking them. 6, 13, 15, 20 versus 2 and minus woods, so it is 8 to 1 again, and 7, this is b3 minus 1, so they are done. Okay, so Poles did what they planned to do. They cleared this area, and well, that's all when it comes to the Allied attacks, I believe. I wonder if I can do anything else. Yes, actually I can, and I want to. I'm going to perform thermobaric strike with this missile launcher versus this Russian unit. These units have the range on the entire board, so they can attack anyone they want, and I'm going to attack them, and thanks to the thermobaric strike, my strength is doubled. So I have 16, and I'm attacking this hex, so it will be 11 or more, and minus 2, it will be 7, 8. So let me roll. Oh, the worst roll possible. 7, it is nothing. So this concludes all the NATO actions in the turn 1. We are moving towards Russians. Okay, so this is going to be tough. What Russians can do? Well, they want to defend Moscow, that's clear. But do we want to defend Moscow right in Moscow, or do we want to strike it in the bigger distance, hoping to slow enemy down a bit? Well, you can tell that allies have definitely numerical advantage, and any kind of defense will be probably rolled off sooner or later. But do I want to try to slow them down a bit? I guess I might try, but with not much of my forces. So I will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5, like that. These tanks will go here as well, so they should, or maybe let them be there. And this unit will go here, maybe even there, so all these roads around will be in control. Now, next northern flank, and I think the situation is, well, not very good here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 5 and 5. So that's all when it comes to this airborne regiment. And now Moscow's garrison. Well, they want to defend their capital, and that's what matters for them. So I will have to fortify a couple of these units. And keep them in the city until there will be a chance for some counterattack, I guess. Well, if there will be any chance for counterattack, of course. So I need to simply put this fortifications marker on them. There is a lot of work with it, but well, we have to go with this stuff. And you can tell that I have a lot of artillery in Moscow, and I think this is my chance to slow NATO a bit, because I can perform strikes with this artillery versus upcoming NATO units, and I think this is my chance where Russians can shine. Otherwise, well, they haven't much chance to fight. I will move them here, and I will hold them there like as some kind of reserve. If there will be a chance for them to launch any strike, they will do it. This headquarter rebuilds this bridge, so this bridge is back to being functional. And now, do I want to make any strikes with Russians? Well, not much with my normal forces, but I think I can use my artillery to perform some strikes. Russians have 3 groups of this long-range artillery, and I think they might try to do something with them. So, these guys are going to perform thermobaric attack, and their target will be this Polish battalion. So they are attacking them with 14, and this is clear terrain, so no modifiers. 5. This is -1, and disorganization check for Poles. 10, let me check. No, they are fine. Next, these artillery units are firing at this Polish tank battalion. They have total strength of 11, so the same as before, and 10 in the 11. This is -1 and morale check. Poles are fine, but well, all the remaining artillery has 12 hexes range, so I don't think any allied unit is in the range. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, there are no allied units in the range, so I guess that's all when it comes to Russians in this turn. Yeah, we can go into turn 2. I forgot about one thing. This unit here. Well, they are effectively surrounded by allies, but even so they have to go away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sorry for that mistake. And when it comes to them, they are simply fortifying themselves, hoping that they will be able to slow allied advance a bit. So, let's go to the turn 2, and we are starting with rolls for the possible supplies for the rebels and commies. So commies suffer additional loss. They are bad. Looks like people are running away from them really quickly, and rebels gain nothing. So that's all. Next we have to check for the air superiority. Russians have 4 and NATO have 7. So NATO has 9 and Russia have 8. So this time NATO has air advantage. And NATO doesn't want to use nukes now. So no nukes stuff in this turn for NATO. And that's all when it comes to the air stuff. And we can go into the NATO movement phase. So, one. This is a wheeled unit, and I want to move into the woods, so let me check 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. They are riding here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and strikers, Bradleys are going there. Now they need to get rid of these Russians who are blocking our way here. And now 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they will get rid of these Russians at last. That's the plan. And now French forces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to move like that, and this unit will move here to block these Russians. My RT moves like that. You can see that I am spreading my units a bit, so even if Russians will use their nukes, and there is a solid chance that they will use them, my losses won't be as big. And now Poles. Well, they were able to eliminate all the Russians in this area, so they can go on, and looks like Russians are blocking our way right here, so let's get rid of them. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they should eliminate them, and I think, and when it comes to the remaining Polish units, I'm going to use my strategic movement here. So I don't have enough counters to mark all of them, so I simply mark all these Polish units around with strategic marker. And what it means, they can still make their movement, but after all the combats are resolved. So if I will be lucky enough to eliminate these Russians, then these Polish units will be able to move further. So I think it's a good plan. But before we will conduct our attacks, I have to admit that I forgot about one thing. I forgot to roll for losses after air advantage battle. So let's make a roll. 5 and 5 for both sides. So Russians are losing 3 air steps, and NATO no losses. So that's good for NATO. And now we can make our attacks. So here 7 and 9, it will be 16. 16 plus 5, it will be 21. So it will be 7 to 1. 8 to 1, 9 to 1, 10 to 1 because of the stars, and 8 to 1 because of the town. 7 in the 8 to 1, this is B3 minus 1. So this Russian unit is out, and Poles can go here. Next, here we got 9. I will use one of my electronic warfare points, so this is +1. 9 versus 1, because they are disorganized, so their strength is halved, so it's 10 to 1, and 8 to 1 because of the woods. 8 in the 8 to 1 is B3, so they are done. Next here, 9 versus 4. I will use my second electronic warfare point, and Russians will also use 1, so they will nullify each other. And now Americans are going to use 4 points of Air Force. so it will be 9, 13, and this artillery, so it will be 21. So we have 21 versus 4 now, and let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, Russian artillery is too far to support this battle. So this is going to be 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 7 to 1 because of the stars, 6 to 1 because of the fortification, and 5 to 1, 4 to 1 because of the woods. So this is 4 to 1 and 7. This is B2. So Russians are no more. Here, 9 versus 2, it will be 2 to 1, sorry, 4 to 1. And do I want to support this attack? Yes, with this artillery, with the strength of 8, I'm in them. So it will be 8 plus 9, 17 to 1. I will give them remaining 3 air points, so it will be 20, so it's now 10 to 1. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, still not enough. So it will be 10 to 1. And Russians will try to use their combat helicopters. They have 5, so they are bringing 2. But they have to roll for the possible losses, and one loss. So they will provide one point. So this is 1, so they have 3. So this is now 20 to 3, so it will be 6 to 1, 7 to 1, 8 to 1 because of the stars, and no terrain modifiers. 4, it is B4 minus 1 and the dot. So they suffer 1 loss, they have to retreat 4 hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have to undergo 3 morale checks, 1, 2, so they are disorganized. And now NATO has to undergo morale checks as well. So for them, fine, and 10. Americans need, let me find, 11. So they are fine. So they can perform their pursuit. And final, next attack. 12 and 5. This is 17. 17 plus 8. It will be 25 versus 2. And 10 to 1. And woods and the fortifications, it will be 7 to 1. 10 in the 7 to 1. Dot and B2. So this unit retreats here. Morale check. Oh, I forgot they also have star. So sorry. It won't be 7. It won't be 7 to 1, but 8 to 1, 7 to 1, but 6 to 1. And in the 6 to 1, 4 was B3 and the dot. So they have to retreat 3 hexes, 1, 2, 3, and to undergo morale checks. They passed for the first time and for the second time, and now NATO 6 and 3, they are fine. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And the last attack, we have a lot of them here to resolve. So this is 6 plus 4, it's 10 versus 2, so it will be 5 to 1, 6 to 1 and 7 to 1 because of the stars, and 6 to 1 because of the river. So it's 6 to 1 and 4, B3 and the dot. So 1, 2, 3. Disorganization check for Russians, they are fine, and for Americans, they are also fine. So 1, 2, and 3, their pursuit. So that's all for allies. Yes, that's all. So now we can go on with Russians. But before we will go with Russians, I almost forgot about these Polish units that had strategic movement option. So now they can move. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They will go like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Polish artillery follows their men. So that's all when it comes to this Polish strategic movement, and this concludes NATO actions in the turn 2. Finally, we are going into Russians. Looks like that NATO is approaching Moscow rapidly, and I wonder if I can stop them or at last slow them down. I still have my nukes, so I can use them, but I can only use them if NATO will use them. But NATO used one nuke, so I'm also free to use one of them. And let me see if there is any good place where I can attack NATO and they will suffer much losses. Well, most of the units are already not stacking because, well, they know what might happen. So attacking a single hex makes me sure that I will destroy only a single unit, and there is a possibility to destroy more of them. I would rather wait until I will see some juicy target. Okay, so no nuke strikes for Russians, and now Russian movement. I wonder if there is any good chance for me to make any attacks or counterattacks, I should say. Well, they are fortified, so let them stay. Now they will retreat here, they will retreat there, and they will retreat here to not be overwhelmed by the NATO and surrounded and destroyed too easily. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, because of leaving enemy zone of control. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is infantry unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will need to reorganize them, but not if enemy is around. So that's all here. I will fortify this group. This RT goes inside of the city, and now I think this is a good chance for Russian artillery to shine. I hope so. So that's all when it comes to the Russian movement, I guess. Yes, that's all. And now I can finally do some other stuff. And first of all, I have some of my special forces here, so I wonder if I have any good use for them. I will try to destroy this bridge. Hope this will slow NATO a bit. So let's see if I can do it. This is attack on the bridge with special forces, and I need to roll from 4 to 6. 2, they failed, And now let's see if they are safe or not. Yes, they are safe. They are back in the next turn. Okay. So that's all. And now my artillery. Okay. So I will attack with my missile launchers, and they will use their thermobaric strike. And my target will be this French artillery. This is 11. And they are in the clear terrain. Oh, 6. 6 in the artillery strikes table. This is -1. So this artillery is weakened. Now the other 2 units are attacking this American battalion. They also have total strength of 11 and 5. So Americans suffer 1 loss. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these 2 artillery units are firing on these French tanks. They are in the woods, so I have -2, 9. It was 10, so -2 will be 5, 6, and my roll was 9. So this is disorganization check for French tanks. They are disorganized. And next, these 2 artillery units, let me see if they can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, they haven't any NATO units in their range. And same goes to other Russian units. So that's all when it comes to the Russian artillery attacks. And Russian land units are not attacking anywhere. So that's all for the Russians in the turn 2. And this concludes turn 2 of our game. Okay, we are starting with turn 3. Let's make a roll to see if rebels or commies will get reinforcements or get weakened. Nothing. So that's all. Next thing to do is to go with air superiority. So NATO has max and Russia gets +2. So now they have 3 and NATO has 8. So let's make a roll. NATO wins. So NATO has air superiority in this turn. I think this is a good moment where I can also use my Air Force and my airborne units. And now let's roll for the losses after combat. 4 for Russians, 3 points loss. And NATO, it was 3, also 3 points loss. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the air stuff. Now I can go with my airborne units, and where do I want them to land? I think one of them lands here, and the others are going to land there. Okay, to show you, they are here. And now that's all when it comes to the air stuff. The next thing is if I want to use nukes as a NATO player. No, I think I will keep them because, well, I might need them in the next scenarios, and so far I don't think I need nukes. So that's all for NATO air stuff, and we can go into the movement phase. So let's start with Poles here. And what are they going to do? Do they want to make an attack on Moscow already, or do they want to clear this part of the front before they will go deeper? Well, we get a points for for city hexes and for airfields. So I think we need to capture this area because of the airfields here. But digging deeper into Moscow might be a good idea as well. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I will stay here. 1, 2, 3. Wait, this is woods. So how many movement points do I have to spend for entering woods with tanks? 3, right. So it will be 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I'm spreading them so they won't be attacked by nukes easily. And now they go here, they go there, so they will get rid of these nasty Russians blocking our way. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. They are getting closer on Moscow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Polish artillery goes there, and rebels goes here. Alright, that's when it comes to Poles. And now French forces. So this unit is disorganized, so it will need to be reorganized. And now French army, they are pretty close to Moscow, and I think they might even try their luck on attacking the city. But the problem is that their best unit here is disorganized. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, no, I will let Americans deal with them. So French units are moving like that. My artillery goes into firing position. This artillery rides here, and this unit goes there. So that will be all for the French column. And now Americans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. They are going to get rid of this airborne battalion. And now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. This artillery rides here. These tanks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now my infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Okay, I have them in my range, so that's fine. And now my airborne units. So I think they might try their luck on Moscow now. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, let them move here. So this should do the trick. And now this battalion goes there. So that should be all when it comes to the Allied movement. Okay, there is a lot of moving here because of many units on board, and there are more to come. Yes, this game is a counter dance. So that would be all for the Allied movement. I will start here. So this is 7 versus 2 and plus 5, so it will be 12 versus 2. So it will be 6 to 1, 7 to 1, 8 to 1 because of the stars, and 6 to 1 because of the woods, 7 to 1 because of the Polish headquarter, and Russians 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They are 11 hexes from their headquarter, and headquarter has 10 hexes. So now they are not in the range of their headquarters, so it will be 9, it will be 7 to 1. Oh my! 7 to 1 and 12, D minus 1, B2. Attackers suffer 1 loss, so they are eliminated, and defender has to retreat 2 hexes. 1, 2. Oh, and the other attacker is disorganized. And disorganization check for defender 6, they passed. Okay, that wasn't a very lucky attack. Now here 5, 8, 12 versus 4. It will be 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1 because of the stars. 4 to 1, 3 to 1 because of the woods. So it's 3 to 1 and 8. B2. 1, 2. And disorganization check, Russians passed. So Poles pursue it here. Okay, French units are next, and 2, 7, 5 and 7 versus 1. So it will be 7 to 1. I will give them support of this artillery, so it will be 7 to 3. So it will be 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 and 5 to 1 because of the stars. And now -5 because of the fortification in the city, so it will be 1 to 2, and 9, so it is A1 -1. So attacker has to retreat 1 hex and suffers 1 loss. Next, here 3, 8, 14, 17 versus 2. It will be 8 to 1, 10 to 1 because of the stars, but wait, I will give them artillery support, so it will be 70 to 4. So it will be 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 7 to 1, 8 to 1 because of the stars, and 9 to 1 because we have 3 units of the same formation. So 9 to 1 minus 2, it will be 7 to 1. And 7 in the 7 to 1, it will be B3. So this is enough to get rid of them. Here 8 and 9. So it will be 8 and 9, it will be 17 to 1. 17 to 2, so it will be 8 to 1, 9 to 1, 10 to 1, 9 to 1 because of the star. 10 in the 9 to 1, B3 and the dot. So they are done, but I have to make this organization check for Americans. 6 and 5, they passed. And now here. Three, 6, 10 versus 2, 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 7 to 1 because of the stars, 5 to 1 because of the city. So it's, yes, 5 to 1 because of the town. 5 to 1 and 10, B2. So 1, 2, they are retreating, and 5, they passed morale check. So that's all when it comes to the combat. Yes, that's all when it comes to the allied combat stuff. Okay, Russians. I think I will start with trying to attack this Polish headquarters with Russian special forces. Maybe they will be able to achieve something. Let me find. And attacks on the headquarters. I need to roll 2d6. And wow, amazing! Headquarters destroyed. So that's great. And now I need to check what happened to the headquarters. 1, and it is eliminated. Okay, so it was kind of suicidal mission, but well, it wasn't bad. Okay, so Poles lost their headquarters, and now Russian movement phase. And what Russians are going to do? Oh, I think they will retreat here, so they will be able to retreat to Moscow instantly. Now them, they are surrounded. Don't think they can do much because all the ways to Moscow are cut, so they can only fortify themselves here. Now this unit here will 1, 2, 3 move like that. And now this part, well, they are defending well, so French paratroopers weren't able to get inside the Moscow. That's good. I wonder if I can do something even better with them riding here and trying to get them out. Let's see if this will work. And now one more thing. This Russian unit retreats here. Alright, so that's all when it comes to the Russian movement. Not much stuff to do. And now Russian attacks. First of all, they are attacking here, and they will take support of this artillery. So this is 5 and 8. so it will be 12 to 1, so it will be 10 to 1, -1 because of the star, 9 to 1, and -3 because of the city, 6 to 1. 9 in the 6 to 1, this is b2 and the dot. So they have to retreat 2 hexes, and they have to undergo morale check. They passed, and Russians have to undergo morale check as well. Oh wow, they are disrupted. And now Russian artillery can do their job. Well, I think I have some artillery that can deal with allies. So this artillery uses thermobaric strike on this Polish unit. So it will be 11 and more. Oh, that's good roll. This is -1 and D. So they are disorganized and halved. Now this and that are attacking this Polish unit, so this is -1, so it will be 9-10 verse, and 6 in the 9-10, it is disorganization check, so Poles are fine. Now these 3 artillery units, or maybe let it these 2, 10 are firing on this Polish unit, so they have 10 versus 2, so it will be 5-6, and 9 in the 5-6, this is nothing. And now this artillery and that artillery, they have 9, they are firing at this French unit. This is -2 because of the wood, so it will be 5-6 again, and 6 in the 5-6, this is nothing. So that's all for the Russian artillery. Yes, that's all for the Russian artillery, and this concludes Russian actions in the turn 3. So we are out of turn 3, we are into turn 4, and I think this is a good moment to call it a day and finish first part of the playthrough of this scenario.